Guys, I love the energy. That's the energy we're gonna need. Full commitment from the very beginning till the end. 90 plus minutes of full commitment, full concentration. Since the very beginning. Kickoff, we set the tone. We send the message. We are coming to win.
There must be a winner, whether it be in 90 minutes or in penalties. And the victor tonight between Atlanta United and Cruz Azul will move on to the knockout phase of the 2023 Leagues Cup. The loser is eliminated.
We got 3. 1, 2, 3.
Lennon at the top of the 18 right side. Dribble, shot! Wide of the near post. Atlanta United concedes the first goal.
45 minutes. Don't worry, it's only 1 goal. We scored the first one, we will get the momentum.
Atlanta United right back in this. Flick forward by Lati, but Tomas Ramos back into the middle to Hosatsu. Hosatsu sends it back up to Almada now, 35 yards from.
It's been a real topsy-turvy kind of season. Lots of ups and downs, lots of momentum shifts, lots of just different factors that have led to the results. I mean, you've had injuries, you've had the lineups kind of have to change a good bit. You've had, I think, Giorgios is a prime example of the impact when he's in the team versus the impact when he's not in the team. So many different things have gone into it that I feel like you're at a point in the season where it can go either way because it's just been so up and down, and because of the competition in this league right now. You know, the jumble of teams where we are at the moment, that could go a lot of different directions. It's a really interesting time of the season, and these last 10 games are very unpredictable.
Well, in some games, I think some big games we have played, especially at home, I think we've been better. We've been very solid. I think I like the mentality, especially at home.
It was one of those classic games at the Bends where you start to get on top of a team early and it feels like an avalanche is coming.
Almada continues to direct traffic. Now he's up to it. He goes for goal. Score! Atlanta United's free kick wizard.
It's so important for young players to get those moments. He got it there.
Giakoumakis rolled over to the near side. Here's Almada. Tough angle shot. Tipped and then bodied into the net. How about that for the 19-year-old Tyler Wolff?
That goal was so important for his confidence, and I think earning the confidence and the trust of the coaching staff as well, that, hey, it's not just a young player who can come in and work hard, it's a guy who can come in and produce and impact games. And I don't think you get some of the impact that he's given the team later if you don't get that goal.
I made a vertical move and then vertical, you saw my movement, took the ball from behind, then back, I took the ball with my chest, I saw the goalkeeper outside a little bit, I checked him, and then I passed the ball, I ran after him, and that's also a goal score.
Boom, Giakoumakis!
So the potential of the team is there, is for us, again, the consistency. Can we apply not just the same result that will come, but the same performance? That full performance that we are dominant in the game, we don't allow the opponent to create a lot of chances on our goal. We create a lot of chances, we are overwhelming, we have high energy in every moment of the game, taking care of the second balls, individual rules, the passing is good, is fast, is aggressive. Can we be that team that is in the front foot all the time? Can we be like that every game? You can see the potential. It's about consistency now.
Tonight, Atlanta United wraps up the first half of this 2023 MLS season with an opportunity to put a capstone on the first half of the year with what could be a signature win. 2 of the last 5 MLS Cup champions meeting tonight. It's Atlanta United against LAFC.
Not many people get points at that stadium. One of the hardest things for a team that plays in the manner that Atlanta United does, where very attack-minded, very aggressive offensively, a team that expects results, big results, lots of goals. It's hard in games where those don't come. Finding ways to get results in those situations where you're not at your best and you're not able to play your game, it's essential in a season to have success. And that game in LA is, I think, a testament to the fighting spirit of this team.
Is having a career night.
It wasn't a high-scoring result, which is what we kind of expect from Atlanta United and LA, but one where you had to fight, show a lot of character. It's a vital point, and then you get into the final results of the season, that point that very easily could have gone the other way, that point could be the one that gets you a home playoff game and it gets you a higher seed in the Eastern Conference.
So I think it's a positive getting this point. Let's work on reflect on the video, what we can do better offensively, okay? Because we still, of course, we want to do better offensively, but defensively was outstanding to me. Outstanding in terms of the energy and the amount of effort everybody put. And everybody talks about the back line and how many goals and all this. Today you did a great job. And I want to reward that because it was a fantastic effort to me from everyone, okay? So congrats, let's recover. Let's be smart in everything we do from now on until Saturday. Everything, recovery, sleeping time now. Okay, whatever you guys need, please ask the staff whatever you guys need to recover, physically and mentally. Okay? Whatever we need positive vibes because it was a good game in the second half in terms of defending. Let's bring that. Okay? Is that clear? Come on, let's recover. Come on.
So the game against DC, that's one where I think you see a lot of the work that Gonzalo and his coaching staff have put in really pay off. It's a team that's going to have a very high line defensively, and that can be difficult at times because it limits the space. It's going to make it difficult to find the ball over the top. DC hadn't been punished yet at that point with Tyler Miller and his sweeper keeper abilities, and I didn't think that one was going to end up being the spot that it did. It really was a misjudge on his part because you can be a sweeper keeper and still be safe. That one, he misjudged the flight of the ball, and that's one of the things that I think people who haven't played a lot at Mercedes-Benz Stadium struggle with at times. The two things that stand out to me in that game were the homegrowns and their impact on that. With getting so many homegrowns on the field, Tyler Wolff getting a goal, Jay Fortune getting his first start in Major League Soccer, Caleb Wiley coming back from the U20 World Cup, was very cool to see that, and just, the importance of having a thriving homegrown portion of your roster. It's vital in this league for success. Maybe the coolest moment of that, even with the homegrowns and with the Giakoumakis goal, was Ozzy Alonso get back on the field. And I had seen him make his return to the field with Atlanta United too right before that, and just the emotions of seeing him back, because I'm sure at some point in the whole process he wasn't sure if that would happen. And I think he's a player, and he's more importantly a person who is so important to what this club can be. There's nothing that matches the ability to play next to these guys. And, to have somebody like Jay and Ozzy in the same match, Jay is someone who will learn from Alonso in such a big way, and his career will be so much better for having played next to Osvaldo Alonso. I thought it would be a better night at the office. It wasn't. When you give them an early goal, it just makes the game so much easier for them. They're fine without the ball. They're fine with you having the ball, actually when they look their best. So it just kept snowballing from there, and there wasn't a way to fix it. That's one that I feel like that can be a better result next time if you're at full strength.
The fireworks should come inside this building. Today, Atlanta United looks for their first win against Philadelphia Union since the 2019 playoffs.
Take care of each other and let's be together. What is our goal? I fight for you, you fight for me. And that's how we're gonna win tonight. Let's go! Come on! Win on three! 1, 2, 3! Come on!
Put the ball up to it, strikes it, going for goal, off the wall, back to Amada, another shot, score! Almost as if it was planned. Atlanta leads 1-0.
So we were playing with matching their diamond, and then the spaces on the outside were free. In the build-up, we were finding a lot these areas of the field, and when their diamond was shifting over, then we were finding the support and then trying to tackle the opposite side and creating the 2v1s in this area of the field. Because what they do, their style is pretty good. People tend to think about Philly that they are just chaotic and they are just playing long balls and see what happens. It's not. It's a very well organized tactic on how they can put pressure on you.
I think it was Miguel who passed it back to Thiago, and I was kind of, right here waiting for, for the pass from Thiago, and he was dribbling a little bit, and then he found me and I shot it. Celebrated. Oh yeah, I ran this way into this corner, and with the guys that were right here.
That was just a good follow-up performance after the win over Philadelphia. Montreal was coming off of a great run at home where they had only conceded, I think, 1 goal in their last 9 at home. It was a tough game because Montreal is a team that is somewhat like Philadelphia in that they are very high pressure. They're on top of you, they don't give you time on the ball, they make life difficult for everything that you want to do in terms of being a patient team on the ball. So it's a tough matchup, but there was a lot of fight in the team that night.
I just had a thought in my head and a feeling that somehow, whether it was going to be the goalkeeper that saved it or something was going to happen, I had a weird feeling that it was going to come straight to me. And so as soon as he kicked it, I was just facing towards the goal, and it ended up hitting the post and coming straight to me, and I was able to react quick enough to put it in.
You got to do everything possible to get out of there with the result. And Montreal's manager and Almosada did not like some of those tactics and smile and laugh and move on and take the 3 points and get out of town.
We knew it was going to be difficult in Miami with all the, momentum that Messi's signing was carrying on.
Number 10, Lionel Messi. Number 1,
I felt like we were not up to the standard of the club. We were not as proactive, as aggressive as we should be.
You're not just playing a great player, but it's a moment with that player. For that to be his first start, it had more power than just your average game against a very difficult opponent.
In many moments of the game, we were dominant. We were creating good opportunities for us, but we couldn't execute in the final third, especially the second half. The response after that, 4 days after, against Cruz Azul was great.
Of course, we were really disappointed after the game against Miami. We had to get over it fast. On Cruz Azul, it was a totally different game. We had, in my opinion, we had a great performance. We created a lot. We were really, really unlucky in this game. I think if we would play this game again 10 times, we would win 10 times.
So I think the mood was disappointing, disappointment for sure that we were knocked out of the competition, but there were so many positives that we could have, that we can take out of that game.
Of course, it's the first sample of what Muyumba is going to give us. My expectation is it can be only better because I think it's going to be pretty good.
It's an amazing feeling when I play my first game, when I come to the stadium. They give me a lot of support, so that's amazing to be in the field. When you see the stadium, the fans. So.
It's pretty impressive to see his leadership and just his presence out there on the field, right in the middle of the park, which I think is going to be a big lift for us. And if you see his football IQ is so high, and that's just you can't always teach that stuff.
I think these new signings provide competition throughout the lineup, competition throughout the roster, not just for playing time, but for starting time. And that's what any team needs.
This window, we're pretty excited about what we're able to accomplish. It was really about finding the balance. So anytime we're going to make the moves, it's not only for this window, but for the future, and trying to set ourselves up for success without handcuffing ourselves at the same time. We were doing quite well with scoring goals this year, so we needed to have a little bit more balance. And by bringing in 2 wingers, we actually were able to hold our fullbacks at bay a little bit, bringing in Tristan as an all-action midfielder in the middle of the park. Helps us defensively and progressing the ball forward, so we have that kind of link in the middle, and bringing in Jamal as well up top, an athletic profile that translates very well to our league. Really, when you talk about the plan, we were, in this window specifically, we're very pleased because it doesn't always come to fruition, everything you want to do, but we were able to execute our plan on what we set out to do at the beginning. Once we knew Luis was being sold, we were able to execute the rest of that plan.
I would say that there are mature players. There are players with a lot of experience. They already have a lot of games on their pocket, and that maturity, I feel, is something we needed as well, right? Yeah, they are quality players. We know what each one of them can provide on the field, but in the locker room, in the mentality of the team, in the experience they can show in every game, I think that's going to be their biggest impact.
I play against Sunday, against Jamal last year, so two very good players. So for the team, it's up. We will need both.
We've had this break with Leagues Cup, preparing for these last 10 games of the season. You treat it almost like a kind of another preseason, right? A mini preseason. So coaches can be intentional about what we're working on. They know exactly who's coming in and what their profiles are.
We now have to polish in the next few days the final third movements, the final touch, the final pass, the type of crosses, the references in the final third, primacy zones, early crosses, inverted crosses, areas of the field, near post, far post, cutbacks, all those areas, good fields, which one, coordinated movements, just put that together. And then in the lower block, how we defend crosses, our clearances, 1v1 defending, so better understanding in both boxes, I would say, is the final touch that we need still to work a little bit in the next few days.
It is a little bit of a blessing in that you get to prepare for a 10-game stretch, and this is a team that I think can beat anybody in the East. I think the East is wide open. It is going to be a wide open run, and I like the weapons that Atlanta United and Gonzalo have to work with now.
This league is really about who's hot at the end of the season. We had a good start, and then we were a little bit inconsistent. We won a few games, but we're right there in the mix with a bunch of other teams. And so, if we can stay healthy and integrate these guys that we brought in the transfer window and get them going and firing all cylinders, I think we feel pretty good about where we are. And that end of the season, like I said, finishing in good form and carrying that heat into the playoffs. We feel really good about our roster.
Last part of the season is always about not just making playoffs, but being in a good momentum, and the form of the team is going up, and then we can have very good playoffs. So that's the objective. But again, we will only do that if we go game by game as a final. If we have that mentality, I have zero doubts that we can do it.
From now on, there are no excuses. We have to win as many games as possible. In order to finish on the ranking table as high as possible. I think by winning the first games, starting from now, from this week, it will give us confidence in order to move on and win also other games that we really need to, we really want to. I know for sure that we're going to give everything. I know for sure that we have better quality right now, we have bigger trust. And I believe that our team performance is going to change a lot dramatically from now on. If we have the mindset that we're a winner, we're winners and we are here just to win and nothing else, that we're more complete, we're more like a unit with bigger quality, and we have to start feeling hungry again.
10 games to go, it's about results. And it's not necessarily about how you get there. The identity is established. The way of playing is established. The Atlanta United way, like we talked about, the homegrowns, it runs deep. That's not going anywhere. But these 10 games, it's 3 points however you get them, and you move on to the next. You're going to have a game out of these 10 that you're not going to get the result that you feel like you deserve. You're going to have a game out of these 10 that you probably get a result that you maybe didn't deserve. You have to have that full out intensity for 90 minutes, have the locker room afterwards, and then when you leave, it's the goldfish brain. It's leaving it behind and moving on to the next and preparing for that. That's really where it comes down to the personal relationships and the man management that I think this coaching staff is so good at. It's Gonzalo, who's so good with the individuals. It's, you know, somebody like Eugenio Villazon, who is working with the younger players especially, and that individual development. We see Rob Valentino, we see Diego De La Torre all the time talking to guys, pulling them aside after training, having those conversations. That's what it comes down to now. It's those little tiny details, those little things that are going to determine these results over the next 10.